Divine Revelation, the miraculous lost book of Adam and Eve unveils 7 prophetic secrets of heaven. In the quaint English village of Everdale, where the ancient chapel stood like a sentinel, whispers of divine mystery floated among the faithful. Sarah, a devoted mother and cherished member of the community, often turned to her prayers with fervor, especially to St. Jude, the patron of hopeless cases. Amid the aromatic smells of baked bread and blooming wildflowers, that serene faith faced an unimaginable storm. Mark, her beloved husband, wrestled against a terminal illness, and every passing day was a struggle of its own, marked by health setbacks and heavy hearts. As the sun dipped behind the horizon, Sarah's prayers echoed through their home, filled with the laughter of their children, but now clouded by uncertainty. The vibrant memories of church gatherings felt like echoes of a forgotten warmth as doubt crept into her heart. She wondered if miracles were merely whims of fate, contrasting sharply with the weight of her pain. The villagers rallied around her, their voices rising in fervent prayers. Yet, each prayer felt heavy, choked by the shadows of despair hanging in the air. One fateful afternoon, driven by desperation, Sarah approached the altar, feeling drawn as if by a divine thread. The chapel's intimate stillness wrapped around her like a warm hug. There, in the cool dim light, her fingers brushed against the cool stone, and she noticed an ancient, dusty tome wedged between the stones. As she lifted it, dust motes danced like spirits in the sunlight. The title boldly proclaimed its purpose, the lost book of Adam and Eve. As she cracked it open, the air thickened with a sense of intrigue and anticipation. Soft murmurs filled the chapel as she began to read aloud the 7 prophetic secrets inscribed in the yellowed pages. Each revelation resonated within her, echoing like bells of hope, stirring a belief that had long been dormant. The congregation leaned in, their breath quivering in the harmony of divine revelation. Each secret illuminated their understanding of faith, weaving together their individual beliefs into a tapestry rich with expectation. The words sparkled as if kissed by the divine. Healing is but a step before the true miracle, made joy spill from the hearts around her. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As she reached the final pages, a palpable tension filled the air. The villagers, hearts beating in resonance, gathered in fervent prayer, trusting what awaited them was a divine touch. With each revelation, their fears melted away, replaced by resounding belief. Sarah led them into a silent reverie, filled with sacred longing. A wave of peace washed over them, a light breaking through the shadows, and suddenly, whispers turned to shouts of praise. Then, in a moment that felt orchestrated by divine hands, the atmosphere shifted. Mark, who had lingered between worlds, began to stir. Hope surged through the crowd, a chorus of gasps spiraling into raised hands as whispers of miracle spread through the village. Yet beneath the joy, Sarah's heart trembled with unanswered questions. Had she truly experienced a divine encounter, or merely stumbled upon a tale of old? As the villagers rejoiced, a profound realization dawned. A deeper spiritual challenge awaited them all. For in the pursuit of miracles, lay ancient questions begging to be explored. Had they merely scratched the surface of understanding God's will through their ephemeral thoughts of healing? Emerging from the chapel, faith and uncertainty mingled. Like rain and sunlight, while the echoes of revelry echoed through the streets, leaving their hearts poised on the brink of understanding. What awaited them beneath the surface of mere miracles? As twilight deepened into night, the village of Everdale transformed. The once lively plaza lay quiet, punctuated only by the gentle rustling of leaves. Candlelight flickered through the chapel's windows, casting a soft glow that seemed to pulse with promise. Inside, Sarah, heart aglow but mind swirling, sat with her friends and family gathered closely around. Each face bore a reflection of hope mixed with trepidation, a quest for understanding that lingered unspoken. The air was thick with faith, and her children clung to her sides, sensing the weight of the moment. She glanced at Mark, now resting peacefully nearby. A miracle had stirred within him, yet Sarah knew this was only the beginning. Those prophetic secrets whispered to her soul, igniting a spark of trust in the divine plan that laid before them. "Tonight, we must ask ourselves," she began, her voice steady despite the storm in her heart, "what lies beneath our desire for miracles? What does God seek to reveal through these sacred words?" As she spoke, the villagers leaned closer, each heart beating in rhythm with hers, each seeking answers that could shift the very fabric of their understanding. One elderly woman, Agnes, shifted forward. "Sarah, these secrets speak of depth. We must not pursue healing alone, but seek a relationship with the divine. Healing can touch the body, but what of the spirit?" A hush fell over the room, as the weight of her words settled like dew on grass, refreshing and profound. Tears brimmed in Sarah's eyes. She recalled times when she prayed only for the miracle of Mark's health, forgetting the broader canvas God was painting. "We've relied on our limited vision," she murmured, squeezing her children's hands tighter. "But what God has not yet revealed to us may hold the key to our future." As they pondered, an electric charge swept through the gathering. The air shimmered, and a warm light enveloped them, brushing their skin like a heavenly caress. Whispers erupted as villagers exchanged glances. Could it be divine presence? Each heart quickened as Sarah felt an undeniable grace settle within. Then, a voice broke through the stillness. It was young Jonathan, no older than 10, his eyes wide with wonder. "What if, instead of waiting for healing, we ask God how we can serve?" His innocent suggestion landed like a seed in fertile soil. The villagers looked at each other, eyes sparkling with new light. Sarah's heart swelled with realization. Yes. What if our purpose here is greater than our own needs? What if we are part of a larger tapestry, woven with love and intention? Her spirit soared as the congregation echoed her thoughts, their voices resonating as one. In that moment, they felt the divine challenge before them, their understanding of faith transformed into a call to action. The miraculous secrets were not just meant for personal gain but to inspire a community to rise together, to uplift one another in devotion and service. As they prayed, a profound unity enveloped them. Individual fears faded, replaced by a vision of communal healing and love. Together they would navigate this journey not alone but united, committed to unveiling God's purpose. The night lingered on, cloaked in renewed fervor, as Sarah sensed a stirring within her soul. Yet, an inner voice urged her on. What awaited them beyond this moment of clarity? Would they discover the true nature of the divine mystery they were called to explore together? With hearts aglow, they broke the silence as one. "Lord, reveal your will to us, and let us partake in this greater miracle." And so, the villagers took their first step. Would they embrace the call to service and faith, or would they falter in the face of their greatest challenge yet? Only time would tell. The air grew heavier with expectancy as the villagers clung to every word, each heart seeking a deeper connection with the divine. The flickering candlelight danced in the shadows, casting reflections of hope on the faces of those gathered. Sarah, still feeling the warmth of the holy presence surrounding them, looked into the faces of her friends and neighbors. Each gaze lingered with determination, a commitment to embark on a path filled with purpose. "Let us not forget," she said softly, "the power of our prayers. They can ripple out like waves, touching lives far beyond our own." The murmurs of agreement rose, echoing the truth of her words woven with a thread of anticipation. As they continued to share thoughts, another voice emerged, that of Samuel, a quiet man known for his wisdom. "What if those secrets Jonathan spoke of are not just for us, but for the world beyond Everdale?" His voice was a gentle breeze, encouraging others to envision far and wide. "What if our faith blossoms into a beacon for those who suffer in silence?" Sarah added, her heart urging her on. The idea sparkled in the air as it took root. The villagers started to visualize how their commitment could influence many lives, drawing strength from shared faith. Just then, Rupert, a farmer known for his skeptical nature, stepped forward. "But how do we begin to serve? What does God want from us?" His question hung, thick with vulnerability. Sarah took a breath, sensing a response within her spirit. "We start where we are, with love. Love for one another, love for the world. Each act of kindness can reflect the light that shines in our hearts. At that moment, a sudden gust of wind swept through the chapel, stirring the candles, their flames flickering wildly as if in conversation. Gasps filled the room, eyes widening with wonder. Was it a sign? In that fleeting moment, a tangible energy pulsed through the gathering, igniting their resolve. Look! Jonathan pointed towards the altar, where an ancient book lay cloaked in shadow. It had seemingly appeared from nowhere. There, in the stillness that followed the wind, the villagers felt compelled to approach it. The lost book. Someone whispered, excitement rippling through the crowd. The story of its existence had circulated through Everdale folklore, a fabled text said to hold miraculous secrets hidden away since time began. Could it be? Sarah wondered. Is this the revelation we sought? As she reached for the book, an electric anticipation filled her heart. She felt the air thicken with promise, each heartbeat echoing the unfolding mystery. With trembling hands, she opened its weathered pages. The light from the candles illuminated words that shimmered as if crafted from pure light. Visions of healing, unity, and sacred purpose flowed forth. The villagers gasped as ancient truths intertwined with their own hopes and dreams. Each gently turning page seemed to hint at a divine calling. Look! Agnes exclaimed, her finger brushing over a passage. These 7 secrets, they speak of transformation. They guide us to become vessels of God's love. The urgency in her voice sent a shiver through the assembly. As eyes widened and breaths quickened, they grasped the significance of their discovery. This was more than a book, it was a divine invitation to delve deeper, to explore the very essence of their faith and communal spirit. With excitement bubbling in her chest, Sarah raised her eyes to those gathered. Are we ready to embrace these secrets? To step forward in faith and spirit? The villagers murmured affirmations, a chorus of faith rising toward the heavens. But Sarah could sense an undercurrent of fear. What truly lay ahead? What would obedience to such divine revelations demand of them? Still, as they formed a circle around the altar, a profound stillness settled, inviting them to reflect. Could they conquer their doubts? Could they turn the pages not just for themselves but for the world in need? As they bowed their heads in prayer again, Sarah felt the pulse of destiny quicken. She believed they were on the brink of something extraordinary, but the question lingered, the weight of the future pressing in. What truths would these prophetic secrets unveil? What challenges awaited them as they ventured into the unknown? With hearts ready yet unsure, they whispered together, Lord, guide us as we uncover your path. And with that, the night deepened, pregnant with possibility, as the divine revelation awaited its chance to transform their lives forever. The air thickened with sacred anticipation as the villagers joined hands, forming a bond that felt unbreakable. The flickering flames of their candles illuminated the ancient book lying open before them. Its worn pages whispered tales of great deeds and divine encounters. Sarah's heart raced, each thump resonating like the drums of a distant celebration. The villagers were wrapped in unity, a substance more potent than physical presence, a spiritual thread binding their hopes and dreams. Let us read together, Samuel suggested, his voice a soft melody that calmed the rising excitement. As he began to read the first secret, the chapel seemed to expand, time stretching as each word echoed into the very essence of their souls. The first secret reveals that love is the root of all things. His voice resonated through the room, stirring a deep understanding. Tears filled Agnes's eyes. Love, how simple yet profound, she whispered. If we truly lived that, how could we not transform ourselves and our community? The villagers exchanged glances, embedded with a shared realization. The first secret was an affirmation, a divine nudge that spoke to their very core. Love was within their reach, already planted in their hearts, waiting to be nurtured until it blossomed. The quiet hope began to intertwine with faith, awakening something dormant yet powerful. Proceed, Rupert urged, his skepticism fading into an eager curiosity. The atmosphere shifted, heavier now, weaving excitement and a slight apprehension together. What lay ahead in this council from on high? With a steady hand, Sarah turned the page, revealing the next secret. The second secret speaks of forgiveness, she read. Forgive one another, as the Lord forgives you. Her voice trembled slightly, resonating with an unspoken weight. Gasps escaped the mouths of the curious audience, mingling with the flickering candlelight. The notion of forgiveness stirred deep within them. Love, forgiveness, elements they often took for granted. Samuel's brow furrowed, reflecting the internal battle of voices within their hearts and minds. But can we really forgive those who have hurt us? He pondered aloud, a note of struggle coloring his words. Is forgiveness so simple? Forgiveness is a journey, not a destination, Sarah replied, her voice steady. It's the act of releasing burdens that tie us down. For each act of forgiveness creates space for love to flow. The crowd stirred with second thoughts but no longer in doubt. Their breath flowed like rippling water. Their spirits, once heavy with fear, began to lift, buoyed by the promise of release and healing. As Jonathan read aloud the third secret, the power of prayer, hallowed silence enveloped them. They learned that prayer could bridge gaps and spread their unified spirit beyond their small village. Prayer is not merely for personal gain, it's the lifeblood of community, he proclaimed, imbuing the words with passion. They paused to reflect, some offering silent prayers, while others voiced their longings softly. The energy surged through the chapel, mingling with the spirit of the ancient words. This was turning into something far more profound than they had imagined. One by one, secrets began to slip from the book, a magnificent tapestry woven with threads of love, forgiveness, and prayer, each passing secret binding them closer together. But just as enthusiasm filled the air, a flicker of doubt brushed against Sarah's heart. What awaited them as they uncovered the next secrets? Her gaze met Rupert's, who stood on the edge of belief, uncertainty still etched on his brow. Perhaps there were deeper challenges ahead, calling them to confront parts of themselves they preferred to keep hidden. Emboldened yet cautious, they leaned into the mystery, their hearts pulsating with the promise of transformation. What revelations awaited further down this sacred path? Could they truly embody the truths they were learning? The flickering candlelight cast long shadows that danced along the walls, an invitation to all who dared. Are we willing to go on? Sarah asked the gathering, her voice lifting the weight of hope into the heavens. To truly embrace the secrets and let them weave through our lives. Before anyone could answer, a soft sound, like rustling leaves, filled the chapel. A divine breeze swept through, sending an electric thrill down their spines. This moment felt like a threshold. What deeper truths awaited in the remaining secrets? What would they need to sacrifice to receive the fullness of divine revelation? And with those stirring thoughts, they stood on the brink of transformation, hearts aligned, ready for whatever lay ahead. The silence was thick, wrapping around the villagers like a warm embrace. Sarah's heart pounded louder than before. The crackling of candles echoed like whispers from the divine, urging them onward. What awaited them beyond this threshold? Let us continue, she encouraged, her voice trembling with anticipation. She flipped the page, feeling a magnetic force drawing her to the words. Her eyes widened as she read the fourth secret. The secret of gratitude, be thankful in all circumstances. A hush fell over the room, the gravity of the words sinking deep into their spirits. Gratitude, Agnes murmured, the weight of recognition dawning on her. It changes our perspective, doesn't it? It transforms adversity into growth. Rupert nodded slowly. Can we truly be thankful in our struggles? His voice was quieter now, the skepticism fading, replaced with a young hope. When life is unfair, how can we find thanks in that? It's a choice, Sarah replied, her tone steady. Gratitude is not about what we have, but recognizing the blessings that flow even from hardship. It opens our eyes to God's presence during our darkest nights. The villagers pondered these words. They exchanged glances, some nodding in agreement, others wrestling silently with their reflections. The flickering candlelight danced on their faces, illuminating a mixture of thought and emotion. Alex, who had quietly been holding back tears, whispered, I lost my job last month. But perhaps this is an opportunity for something new. This moment of shared vulnerability knitted them even closer. Each heart struggled with its burdens, yet they could feel the joy that gratitude could bring. As Jonathan read the fifth secret aloud, the secret of service, a ripple of energy flowed through the chapel. "Serve one another, not just in deeds, but in spirit," he proclaimed, his voice rising in fervor. The villagers leaned in, captivated. The notion of service felt electric, igniting indignation within hearts often focused on self. "Service goes beyond actions," he continued passionately. "It's about placing others before ourselves. When we serve, we are embodying Christ's love." An anxious murmur floated around the room. Some exchanged glances, minds racing. Could they really step out of their comfort zones? What if I fail? Samuel's fear crept back, filling the air like an unseen shroud. "Failure is not the end. It's a lesson, a stepping stone," Sarah urged, holding his gaze. "It's the willingness to try that makes us vessels of His love." The spirit shifted in the chapel, colors of hope weaving through the air. Each person felt a rising possibility in their hearts, teasing joy from hidden corners of their souls. Sarah turned eagerly to the next page. The sixth secret awaited. "The power of community," she read aloud, her heart swelling at the wisdom before her. "Iron sharpens iron, and together, you can overcome." Laughter erupted, light and free. "We really are better together." Agnes exclaimed, her joy contagious. "Every joy shared becomes double, every sorrow, halved." The mingling of laughter and light illuminated uncertainties, forging strength from spoken truths. Just then, a sudden gust swept through the chapel, extinguishing a few candles, plunging parts of the room into darkness. Hearts skipped a beat as an unearthly stillness followed, a divine pause. "Is this a sign?" Rupert whispered, wide-eyed. As tension filled the air, Sarah felt a nudge in her spirit. "From darkness, light is born." She called into the uncertainty. "Let us not fear, let us embrace what we cannot see." The weight of the moment hung palpably in the air, waiting, asking what were they prepared to embrace. Just then, the last secret beckoned from the page, a whisper cloaked in divine mystery. Would they find the courage to uncover it? As their hearts hung in the balance, they collectively breathed deeply, bracing themselves for what was to come. Would the final revelation provide the answers they sought? Would it change their lives forever? They were on the brink, hearts poised for transformation, ready to discover the seventh and final secret. Sarah felt the weight of anticipation press against her chest as she prepared to reveal the seventh secret. Each villager held their breath, eyes wide, shimmering with curiosity and hope. The room buzzed with palpable energy, electric with the promise of what was next. Swallowing hard, she whispered, "Here it is, the seventh secret." She took a moment to steady herself, feeling the presence of the Holy Spirit weave through their gathering. "It is called, the secret of love." A gasp rippled through the room, drawing everyone's attention. Love, the very essence of their faith, wrapped around them like a cherished blanket. Sarah could see its radiance reflected in her neighbor's eyes, softening the gravity of their struggles. "Love is the foundation of everything," she continued. "The pulse of our relationships, our service to one another, and our very connection to God." Agnes leaned forward, her brow furrowed. "But how do we truly love, especially those who hurt us?" Her question hung in the air, thick with sincerity. Sarah felt the stirring within her heart. Love isn't always easy. Sometimes it is sacrificial. It means choosing to forgive even when it costs us pain. It requires humility, acknowledging that we're all on the same journey. Love is seen in our actions, not just our words. A few villagers nodded, considering how personal experiences intertwined with this profound truth. Samuel frowned slightly, but what if love feels risky? What if it opens us up to hurt again? "Risk is part of love," Jonathan replied, the fervor in his voice igniting renewed faith among them. "Remember, our greatest example of love took him to the cross. Yet, through that sacrifice, the world was redeemed. When we love, we reflect that divine heart. As they embraced this revelation, warmth cascaded through the chapel. Sarah watched as each villager pondered their role in love's tapestry. In that moment, they were not just individuals bound by circumstance, they were a collective, creating a living testament to the power of love. Then, unexpectedly, the flickering candlelight brightened once more. It seemed as if it was responding to their affirmation, weaving their stories together under God's watchful eye. The golden hues danced across their faces, and Sarah felt an overwhelming sense of togetherness bloom like never before. Alex broke the silence, his voice trembling. Can we challenge ourselves to deepen our love? To care not just for our hearts but for all within our reach? He looked around, his conviction shining through. Start with small acts, an encouraging word, a helping hand. Rupert grinned. Love multiplied is love magnified. Laughter erupted again, dissolving lingering fears. Their hearts stirred with newfound zeal, it felt as if they had taken another step toward a sacred awakening. Together, they began to share ideas on how they could extend love beyond the chapel, into their homes, and through their community. Yet, as they celebrated this unity, a sudden chill swept through the room. The candles flickered before a mighty wind roared through the open door, sending a collective shiver down their spines. Words hushed, and uncertainty wove its way back into their hearts. Sarah's own heart raced. Could it be? She whispered, glancing toward the door. Driven by an instinct she couldn't fully grasp, she stepped forward. Maybe we are being called to act on this love now. Perhaps there is something waiting for us outside. The villagers exchanged eager glances, excitement clashing with hesitation. Would they cross the threshold together? Would they embrace the mysteries that lay outside those doors? As they stood there, poised to make their choice, the moment hung heavily in the air, teetering on the brink of revelation. What awaited them on the other side? Would they find the adventure of love beckoning them forward? The dawn of transformation loomed, waiting for the brave to answer. As Sarah steadied her breath, the anticipation crackled in the air like electricity. She felt a stirring in her heart urging her to take that first step. The door flung wide open, allowing a gust of fresh air to rush into the chapel, swirling with the essence of possibility. Let us go, she called, courage spilling from her lips, urging the villagers into action. One by one, they found the strength to rise, hearts beating in synchronization as they entered the open world beyond the chapel. United, they stepped across the threshold, leaving behind the familiar for the call of the unknown. Outside, the sun hung low in the sky, casting warm, golden rays that bathed the village in a heavenly glow. But it wasn't just the light that captured their attention. An awe-inspiring sight emerged. A mist began to rise gently, swirling like soft clouds around their feet, illuminating the path before them as if guiding them toward a divine destiny. What is happening? Whispered Agnes, eyes wide with wonder. I believe it's a sign, Samuel replied, gripping his sister's hand tighter. This was no ordinary evening. The air felt charged, as if the very spirit of the universe had joined their quest for love and connection. Encouraged by the whispers of their hearts, they began to walk along the cobblestone path that wound through the village. With each step, they noticed how the world around them changed. Glares of isolation dissipated, replaced with beams of unexpected joy. Villagers stepped out from their homes, surprised yet intrigued by the radiant energy surrounding Sarah and her friends. Can you feel it? Jonathan breathed, a smile lighting up his face. It's like love is calling us to spread joy. Indeed, as they sauntered, the villagers began to join them. A child waved, a smile plastered across her determined face. An elderly man gave a thumbs up, drawing laughter and a spirit of hope. Hearts opened as they held conversations filled with grace and gratitude. Who knew love could look like this? Rupert murmured, feeling the warmth of camaraderie wash over him. As they ventured further, they found themselves in the square, a gathering place alive with possibility. Music swirled in the air, sweet and inviting. Families danced together, laughter mingling with joyous shouts in a dazzling display of unity. Suddenly, Sarah's attention was drawn to a larger figure at the center, standing atop a makeshift platform. The villager beckoned them closer, his voice booming with authority and warmth. "Brothers and sisters, come now. We are called to love our neighbors, to act with kindness and compassion beyond what we have ever done." The crowd hushed, enticed by the conviction radiating from his words. Sarah felt her spirit ignite. Yes, they were meant to be the catalyst. They, too, could embody this call to love. "What if we start right here?" Sarah suggested, her voice developing an echo as it filled the square. The villagers listened, their eyes bright with anticipation. "What if we each take a moment to share blessings with someone in this square? A kind word, a helping hand, let love lead us." Cheers erupted as villagers took her challenge to heart. Groups formed spontaneously, each one radiating with affection and compassion. Sarah felt the presence of the Holy Spirit anchoring them all, transcending their individual fears, binding their hearts together in a powerful communion of love, but as the jubilation soared, a sudden crack of thunder silenced the merriment. Dark clouds began to roll in, dampening the sun's bright embrace. The atmosphere thickened as if a shadow loomed over their gathering. "Is this a sign from above?" Alex asked, eyes reflecting fear mingled with hope. Sarah felt the stirrings of doubt. What did it mean? Could love withstand this challenge? As the first drops of rain began to fall, would their newfound commitment to love endure the storm? The moment hung heavy in the air, and Sarah's heart pounded. She could feel the weight of divine mystery urging them forward. What could this storm reveal? Would it deepen their understanding of love's resilience, or would it shatter their courage? The answer lay just beyond the horizon. As the first drop of rain kissed the cobblestones, a collective gasp rippled through the crowd. For a heartbeat, time stood still. The villagers exchanged glances, uncertainty shrouding the warm glow they had just ignited. "Stay strong," Sarah called out, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "The storm may come, but we stand together." With those words, she felt a wave of courage course through her. The clouds may darken the sky, but they could not extinguish the love swirling brightly among them. She closed her eyes, breathing deeply, inviting the Spirit to fill her with warmth. A beautiful flash of lightning tore through the sky, illuminating the village square in a fleeting brilliance. For just a moment, it felt like divine revelation lashed out, reminding them that even in chaos, light existed. "Let it rain!" shouted Jonathan, his enthusiasm igniting sparks of joy. "We dance not just for joy, but in faith." The villagers began to move, arms raised high, spinning and laughing despite the raindrops that now poured upon them. It was a glorious manifestation of freedom. The fear melted away like wax under a gentle flame. And then something remarkable happened. Instead of icy droplets, the rain felt like warmth, like blessings cascading from above. Each drop was a reminder of their connection, a spiritual embrace that spoke of resilience. "Can you feel it?" Agnes cried, spinning in circles with delight, the mist mingling with the rain dancing around them. "It's as if the heavens are joining our love." "Yes," Sarah replied, her heart swelling. "This is not just a storm, it is heaven joining us in our celebration of love." With newfound fervor, the villagers embraced the downpour, their laughter merging harmoniously with the rhythm of the rain. They formed a massive circle, each soul touching the next with hands held firmly together. As they swayed and sang, the clouds intensified above, a powerful backdrop to their gathering. The makeshift platform now seemed to glow as the billowing mist circumferenced it. The man who had encouraged them stood tall, his voice rising above the tumult. "Brothers and sisters, this storm is a test. Just as the rain nourishes the earth, so too does love nurture our souls. Stand firm and let this moment transform us." His words rang true, resonating deep within every heart. Love flourished in their binding together, the storm imbued with sacred purpose. It was as if the divine was watching, amplifying their resolve. "Let us share our blessings," Sarah shouted again, cutting through the surging winds of uncertainty. Let the rain wash away our fears, and remind us of our choice to love. Then, a humble villager stepped forward, old and wise, his face weathered with the passage of time. Like the flood that once cleansed the earth, he began, his demeanor quiet yet powerful, we too can emerge stronger from this rain. Let us not seek protection but surrender to the beauty of our connection. Today we are reborn. Cheers echoed through the square, a collective heartbeat of unity. Water danced at their feet, a mirror to the joyous hearts surrounding it. Each villager opened their heart, sharing kind words and spontaneous gifts of friendship, a sacred exchange that glimmered like the raindrops that as they continued to give. Sarah felt an unexplainable peace wash over her, uniting them all in ways she had never experienced before. Just then, a soft hush fell over the group, as if the storm had tempered its fury to listen. Sarah turned her gaze skyward, and gasped. Through the clouds, a radiant light broke free. Is that? Rupert began, his voice filled with awe. Yes. Jonathan shouted, pointing. It's a rainbow. The promise. And with that beacon of hope arching over their heads, Sarah understood. The storm had woven them together, like a tapestry of faith threaded with love. What might this new beginning bring? Could their connection withstand even greater challenges ahead? As the vibrant colors spread across the sky, she knew within her heart that what waited beyond the horizon was something divine. But what would this revelation mean for them all? The real journey was just beginning. The colors of the rainbow spanned the sky, vibrant and alive, just like the hearts of the villagers below. Each gaze turned skyward created a tapestry of wonder woven from their smiles and shared amazement. Sarah caught a glimpse of Agnes, her eyes sparkling like the drops of rain, and felt a surge of hope coursing through her veins. This is just the beginning. Sarah whispered to herself, feeling the Spirit's whisper urging her on. As the awe lingered in the air, a sense of anticipation filled the square. The wise villager stepped forward once more, raising his arms as if inviting the sky's blessings to descend upon them. Brothers and sisters, he called out, his voice resonating with certainty, the rainbow signifies the renewal of our spirits. We must take this moment to reflect upon our connection and what lies before us. The thrill dancing beneath the surface stirred within each villager's heart, igniting desire to uncover whatever was waiting ahead. They began to speak, sharing hopes and dreams that flowed forth like the rain washing away their past worries. Stories of love, faith, and rebirth coursed through the circle, each word a thread connecting their lives. I've dreamt of bringing the community together in a festival. Rupert exclaimed, excitement bubbling. We must show gratitude. Chimed Agnes, her hands clapping in rhythm with the joyous chatter around them. Let us celebrate the blessings we've received today. Sarah felt her heart swell with affection as her friends' voices blended into a choir of unity. And let us honor our ancestors, she said, standing tall, for it is through their sacrifices that we are here, in this moment of divine connection. Let us remember them and the wisdom they imparted to us. The villagers nodded, their collective energy spinning in a whirlwind of inspiration. Sarah took a deep breath, feeling the air thick with sacred possibility. What if we create a book? A record of our experiences so that future generations may see how love and faith carried us through storms. Yes. Jonathan exclaimed, his eyes alight with fervor. A testament to our journey. A living testament. Echoed Agnes, the joy spilling from her lips like the laughter surrounding them. As they discussed the foundation of this sacred book, Sarah sensed that the project was a beacon, drawing the spirit closer. The air began to shimmer, and for a brief moment, she thought she saw faces emerging in the clouds above, watching them with pride. But just as their excitement peaked, a sudden chill swept through the village square, as if the warmth of connection had been startled into retreat. The wise villager looked serious now, his brow furrowed with concern. While this book will carry our stories forward, we must be cautious. Into every story, there will come trials. We must prepare ourselves with faith. What kind of trials? Agnes asked, her voice quivering with curiosity. The man gazed at the rainbow overhead, then back at the villagers with a gravity that silenced their chatter. The journey to true love and unity is fraught with challenges. It is not merely the joy and beauty we must document, but also the struggles that will test our faith. In that moment of quiet intensity, the sky shifted again. The colors of the rainbow danced closer together, filling the entire square with a strange light, like a divine invitation. What is coming? Sarah wondered, her heart racing with exhilaration and apprehension. With bated breath, she sensed a strong current of change. What would this new journey bring? As they stood there, intertwined in the light of love and uncertainty, they felt the horizon stretching before them, a land filled with possibilities and unforeseen tests. What awaited them as they dared to embrace their deepest connections? And as they pondered together, a distant rumble echoed, almost like a heartbeat from beyond, promising that they were not alone in their unfolding adventure. The light of the rainbow cast beams of hope across the sky, illuminating the village square with a brilliance that seemed to pulse in time with the villagers' hearts. They stood together, enveloped in this sacred moment, a collective vessel of dreams, fears, and aspirations forged through love and divine revelation. Sarah's voice cut through the hushed air, steady and resolute. Let this light guide us. We are not only creating a book but forging a legacy, a testament of how love leads us through storms and how faith binds us in unity. As she spoke, the villagers felt a charge of passion swell within them. The significance of their words seemed to deepen, echoing a promise that transcended the confines of the moment. Agnes stepped forward, a fervor igniting in her spirit. Yes. Let us remember every moment. Every tear and laughter as we walk this path together. They began to share fragments of their stories, each narrative threading itself into the greater tapestry. Rupert recalled the loneliness he felt during tough times and how love's fire rekindled his spirit. Jonathan shared a tale of kindness from an unsuspecting stranger that changed his outlook forever. The wise villager listened intently, a gentle smile gracing his lips. Remember, dear hearts, even amidst joy, trials will come. Your strength lies in how you respond with love, unity, and faith that the divine walks with you. The villagers nodded, their resolve expanding. They understood that while challenges lay ahead, they were equipped to rise together, emboldened by the shared experience of love and community. Then, an unexpected gust of wind swirled through the square, drawing everyone's breath. The wise villager raised his arms, the joy of the moment morphing into something more profound. Recognize the Spirit's presence. He declared, gesturing to the swirling mist that enveloped them. They felt its touch, a gentle reminder that they were not alone. With hearts aligned, they took a collective step towards the central platform, where the wise villager beckoned. Let us unite in prayer, a declaration that we stand ready to face the trials ahead, hand in hand. As they formed a circle, the atmosphere thickened with expectancy. Sarah felt the warmth of the Spirit enveloping them, igniting each heart with faith and anticipation. Lord, guide us through the storms, let us embody the love we've sworn to uphold, and share it with the world. Their voices swelled into a chorus, echoing their commitment to unity, a divine pledge ringing through the heavens. The mist thickened, and with each word spoken, they felt the heavens leaning in, listening intently. As their prayers reached a crescendo, something extraordinary happened. Bright lights flickered in connection with the rhythmic pulse of their spirit, illuminating the very clouds above them. An ethereal light split the clouds, sending beams of gold raining down upon the villagers, each beam a tangible blessing. Look! Jonathan shouted, pointing to the light cascading over them. It feels like love. Tears streamed down faces as the warmth filled every crevice of their hearts. In that moment, they understood, every trial brought them closer to this divine embrace. And with revelations unfolding before them, hearts could mend, grow, and flourish in light. As we step forward, Sarah spoke, her voice steady with newfound purpose, we do so not just for ourselves but for all. We'll share the gifts of love, healing, and unity beyond Everdale, to those who suffer and despair. We must shine like this light. A wave of agreement rippled through the gathering, each villager affirming their commitment. Each heart beat as one, entwined in love's radiant embrace, ready for what awaited them. "Let us now return to the village," Agnes exclaimed, her excitement infectious. "Let us share this clear vision that love can stand strong against any storm, and together we'll write our stories of faith." With radiant joy, they turned and walked together, laughter echoing jubilantly in the air as they returned to the heart of Everdale. Together, they would build their legacy, a vivid testament of love's transformative power, entwined with faith. The rainbow above signified not just hope, but the promise they were to embody, that sacred light. Their stories would intertwine. The waves of love would ripple far and wide, calling forth others to join in a chorus of hearts united in purpose, and so, as the sun set behind the village, painting the sky with twilight hues, the villagers felt a profound peace settle over them. They were on the brink of a beautiful journey, hand in hand, heart to heart. The challenges would come, but with unwavering faith, they were prepared. With love as their foundation, they understood that together, they could transform adversity into grace and despair into boundless joy, and with hearts aligned in divine purpose, they stepped into the future, dancing beneath the brilliance of the rainbow, each one a testament of love. Now, brothers and sisters, this is your moment. Stand with us in sharing this remarkable journey by doing the following: subscribe immediately to the channel so you won't miss the next exclusive faith stories that will uplift your spirit. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and help spread this message of love to more hearts who need it. Comment your reactions and testimonies about this incredible ending. Your voices are powerful. And finally, share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this manifestation of love and faith. That's how we expand this divine journey together. Don't wait even one more second to make a difference. True servants of God understand the urgency to support this channel through your actions.